Welcome to Palm Bay Live, celebrating 1 year in business.
When the gentleman came in and said he didn't have time to get numbers together,
this opportunity to say thank you for instilling a trust in me, to selecting me, choosing me to be the next mayor of this great city. God, integrity. God bless you. May God keep you. May God continue to bless our great city, Palm Bay.
your oversight is off the charts. So I love that. So I am in for the workshop, looking forward to seeing what comes out of it, and I don't disagree with some of your numbers here, sir. I just don't have any data of how much the average tow costs for each of these categories. Nobody else has been able to get that to me yet, so I know that'll come out of the work. I know I want it now. So.
Hello, Palm Bay. I'm going to stop the stream here for a second. Welcome to Palm Bay Live. Election results seem to be in. Let me stop this audio. I was hoping to have some other folks online with me tonight, but I'm going to try to sum this up for you really fast so you can know where we're at. So far, in seat 5, precinct 303, we have results are in showing Phil Moore to 37.74% of the vote and Peter Filberto at 50.52% of the vote. Of the ballots cast, Filberto took that precinct at 340 votes. Precinct 308 shows Filberto at 170 votes, Phil Moore at 120. Precinct 313, Filberto at 487 votes, Phil Moore at 420. Precinct 314, Filberto, 162 votes, Phil Moore, 135. Precinct 315, Filberto, 171, Phil Moore, 214. And I believe it looks like all the precincts have reported. I'm just making sure here. 316, 108 votes cast for Filberto, Phil Moore, 151. Precinct 320, Filberto, 25 votes cast for Filberto, 5 votes cast for Phil Moore. I'm just showing you the two. I'm just relaying you the two top voters, two top vote getters out of these precincts right now. Filberto, 206 votes in precinct 322. Phil Moore, 246. Precinct 510, Filberto, 428 votes. Phil Moore at 396. Precinct 513, Filberto, 38 votes. Phil Moore, 34. Precinct 516, Filberto, 239. Phil Moore, 241. Precinct 517, Filberto, 229, Fillmore, 284. Precinct 519, Filberto, 203, Fillmore, 246. Precinct 520, Filberto, 199, Fillmore, 188. Precinct 521, Filberto, 190, Fillmore, 206. Precinct 527, Filberto, 145, Fillmore, 55. So far, hold on one second. We got total ballots cast, ballots counted is 7,500. Voter turnout is 8.91%. And so let's see. Let's go to the summary right now. Filberto is in the lead at 3,340 votes. Fillmore, 3,195. 7,483 votes have been counted so far. So that looks like to me like Filberto has won this race. I am going to assume Filberto has won this race based on the available ballots that have been counted. I'm not seeing any outstanding ballots. And anybody can tell me in the comments if they see anything differently, but that's what I'm showing right now. That Filberto is in the lead, and he's likely to win this race at 44.63%. He has gotten that percentage of the vote, and the vote cast 3,340 in his favor, with Fillmore at 3,195 votes. That's what I'm seeing right now as the amount of votes that's in. I'm not seeing any other information that is outstanding. Ballots counted was 7,500. And so, yeah, that's where we at. That's where we at right now as of 7:07. That was a quick count, and I figured it was going to be a quick count based on the fact that I was out looking at the different precincts, and it was a low voter turnout. So right now, it looks like Peter Filberto is our winner for seat 5, based on what I'm counting. And so that's what I'm looking at this present time. So, yeah, Palm Bay. So how do you feel? Let's see. Comment in the comment section while I try to get Mr. Filberto on the phone. But it looks like he has won the race. Give me a second, guys. We're trying to get some information. Right now, we're looking at 7,500. Somebody has to say the numbers again. Ballots counted was 7,500. The votes that is tallied so far is 7,483 votes that was tallied. Filberto has 3,340 votes. Fillmore got 3,195 votes. Jimmy Backus, 427 votes. Alfie Agari, 1,521 votes. We're just waiting on to make sure that is definitely the final count for the night. I'm not seeing any other votes coming in. This was a quick count. Okay, let's do a refresh here just to make sure. Vote by mail. It says vote by mail is partially reported. So not all the vote by mail ballots are in. Okay, so I may be wrong here because not all the vote by mail ballots are in. We're still waiting for all the vote by mail ballots to be counted. So we're waiting on that to come in right now. So not all the vote by mail ballots are in, folks. So please stand by. Please stand by for those votes to be counted. Sir, thank you for joining me, sir. Can you hear me okay? You want to unmute yourself.
How's that?
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Welcome
I usually mute myself coming in because I don't know what's going on. So
yeah, we're live. We're live.
We
still have mail-in ballots to be reported.
Okay.
We still have mail-in ballots to be reported. At this present time, it's only partially reported. So at the count right now, Peter Filberto is in the lead. He's at 3,340 votes. Phil Moore is at 3,195 votes. Jimmy Backus is at 427 votes. Alfie Agari is at 521. That's where we're at with the count at this present time.
Okay, what site are you on?
This is Vote Brevard.
Okay, that's where I'm going to as well. Give me just a second.
Okay.
Come on. Okay.
So, all right. So, hold on 1 second, folks. Here's what my understanding is. After review, it looks like what they have counted is the mail-in ballots. So I misspoke. The mail-in ballots, it looks like is what's been counted. The precincts have not been reported yet.
Correct.
Precincts have not been reported yet. The mail-in ballots is what's been counted. So that is partially reported. So not all the mail-in ballots have been reported. This is a partial result of the mail-in ballots only. So right now, with the mail-in ballots reported, Filberto is in the lead. Filberto is taking it by about 150 votes. He's roughly at 44.63% of the tally of the ballots that have been counted so far. So right now, we are still awaiting the precincts, the voting from today, which should not take them long because it was a very low voter turnout. So I think we should have those results here pretty quickly. So just stand by.
Yeah, so right now I'm seeing about 7,500 votes, or should I say 7,500 ballots that have been counted, and we are under 9% turnout.
Yeah, really low, really low.
So either way, with a turnout this low, excuse me, with turnout this low, this always makes for an interesting result, for lack of a better
Okay, here we go. More results are coming in. More results are coming in. At this present time, Filberto is still in the lead at 4,817 votes. Phil Moore is at 3,852 votes. Filberto 4817. Phil Moore 3,852 votes.
965 votes.
Yep. And Jimmy Alfagari has picked up additional votes. He's at 712 votes right now, passed. So
while we're looking at the results, let me just take a minute to point out to anyone and everyone that's watching, if you think that your vote does not count, look at these results.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, there was an election, I want to say in it was a city council election. I can't remember exactly where, but the final tally was decided by 52 votes.
Okay. Yeah, well, there's an election recently in Miami where Alcee Hastings' seat.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was very close. That was about 2 votes or 3 votes, something like that. It was very, very close.
Wow.
It was very, very close. So
That's
every vote does count, folks. Every vote does count. Filberto is still in the lead here. We don't have any additional reporting of numbers yet. We have at 4,817.
Let's see. While we're waiting on some results to come in, I want to tell you about this project that I'm working on for school. I'm trying to pull out my.
Okay, hold on one second, Carmen. We're looking at the total summary of votes right now. So I'm constantly refreshing my screen. So if you have something else you want to share, let me know. I can definitely look into that. If you see something else differently, let me know, because I'm looking at the total summary of results that's populating on my screen. Carmen, you know how to get in touch with me. You can always text me if you see something else that's popping off that I'm not seeing. Let me know. You know how to get in touch with me, bro. Go ahead, Ron.
Nope. No, I'm just trying to call up my spreadsheet that I pulled up, because I had a question about how messaging impacts voter turnout. So I posed it to my instructor, and first thing he did was recommend that I apply for the PhD program. I'm like, wait, hold on, man. I'm not really ready for all of that yet. So it was just a question. So anyways, I got nosy or curious, depending upon, whichever the appropriate adjective may be. And so I went back and I just saw an update. Did I see an update?
Do you see an update? I don't know. I don't see one yet. The votes are out of a standstill. It's still showing 0 of 16 precincts counted. It seems like they're still counting the mailing ballots to me. I'm not sure.
But if we don't have any precincts actually reporting, then that's probably what it is.
Yeah. It's still showing 0 of 16.
Okay. I don't have my data on this flash drive, so I'll try to do it from memory.
Yeah. It's still showing 0 of 16 out Palm Bay. It's not showing an update yet as of the count form today. It's not showing that at all. So if you see something different, please let me know, because I'm not seeing that. Still showing Filberto is in the lead, and
Mhm.
he has about 1,000 point in it, ahead of Fillmore.
Yep, 952,
Yeah.
955. Hang on. I'll do the math again. All right. So, anyways, while we're waiting for updates,
Uh-huh.
I went back all the way to, I want to say 1985, I think, and I pulled voter turnout numbers, both parties, all of the elections,
Hmm.
and incredibly enough, in certain years, specifically the ones relating to Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, you could see a triple percentage point increase in voter turnout. Like, say, for example, I want to say in 92, I believe, voter turnout increased by 116%
Wow.
over the previous election.
Yeah.
In
Um,
midterms, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So folks are asking, where can you find the info? Everybody, you can access this info at Vote Brevard. VoteBrevard.org, is it, Ron? I think it is.
Nope, .gov. Vote.
.gov.
Right.
VoteBrevard.gov.
VoteBrevard.gov.
Everybody can see that for themselves too there as well. So I encourage you to go there and look at it. And if you see something differently from me, you can always call it. Just place the information in the chat, and I will basically call it out. I'm not here to, all information is necessary in order for us to get the best results from this.
All information is good information.
Exactly. Right now, voter turnout is at 11.74%. Ballots counted so far is 9,883. And again, we're still not showing from their website any precincts reported. It's still showing 016. So they're apparently still counting the mailing ballots. They're still counting the mailing ballots.
Let's see, Kevin, I'm going to filtering these a little bit differently.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to precinct results. I don't expect to see anything.
Yeah, I was there too. I was reading them off earlier before you get on. Yeah. Filberto is constantly, he is demanding in every precinct. You can see that he has won the popular vote, except for 315. 315 is the only one where he didn't win. And 322. And what else? 516. So far. But again, folks, remember, these are mailing ballots, right? These are mailing ballots. But he has taken a very divisive lead here in the tally so far.
Wow. Where is precinct 516? That's so close.
Yeah, right?
It's literally like a third of a percentage point, which boils down to, let me do the math real quick, 3 votes.
Yeah, 3 votes. 239 for Filberto, 241 for Fillmore. Yeah, that's very close. That's very, very close. I'm very I'm not sure where Alfred Agari goes after this. After this race, I'm not sure where he lands, because he has run for the mayoral campaign. He didn't do so well there, and now he has run for councilmanship, which I thought he would have done well in. He did do a lot of advertising, but I'm not sure where he lands after this. Where does he go from here in the political world when it comes to Palm Bay? Not sure where he goes from this.
That's one of the interesting things. Number 1 about politics, and number 2 about Palm Bay. First, with politics, you can always reinvent yourself, depending upon the moment, depending upon what the critical issues are, depending upon what the people are really, really focused on. You always have an opportunity to reinvent yourself as long as your message resonates with the voters. Number 2, with Palm Bay specifically, you always have an opportunity, because there's usually something going on with Palm Bay, given our history, given exactly how and why the city was actually founded in the first place. Mm-hmm. So you always have an opportunity to find an issue, create an issue if you have to, or speak out on an issue that will resonate with voters, that will resonate with people of a similar mindset. Excuse me. So the opportunity for Mr. Agari is always there. I think as with any political hopeful,
yeah.
it's just a matter of finding the
Well,
right message at the right time.
I feel sad for the man because he has done a lot of campaigning. You see signs all over the place, and I guess his message just didn't resonate with the voters. He didn't get, I guess it wasn't enough to garner, because in some of the precincts I'm looking at, based on the mailing ballots, again, folks, we have not gotten the official results. I kind of misspoke earlier. We have not gotten the official results. We're still awaiting the actual voting from the precincts. Those have not been tallied yet. And I'm not sure what's taking so long, because it was a low voter turnout. I went out in the field today, going to the different voting sites, and there was not a lot of people going in and out of those areas. So I'm not sure why it's taking so long to count those votes. But so far, based on the mailing ballots, Filberto is in the lead at 4,817, and Phil Moore is at 3,852. Ballots cast 9,883. Voter turnout 11.74%. So where we at? Not sure yet. It's still showing that election day results are partially reported, and vote by mail is partially reported. So not all the results are in. We're still awaiting some more numbers to get the actual tally on this. So anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah, we saw it last cycle, didn't we?
Anything can happen. Yes, we did. We sure did, because somebody won that we wasn't expecting to win, and we're like, whoa, wait a minute, what happened?
Nope.
So I'm not.
But I can tell you, I was at Tony Rosa right before I was able to get my laptop to work and get logged on. And just as I was about to leave, man, people just started coming into the parking lot just left and right.
Okay, so maybe that's what's taking so long. Maybe we're waiting for those numbers.
Well, as with as with anything that's particularly cumbersome like this, there's a process that has to be followed to ensure.
All right, here we go. We have an update. 15 of the 16 precincts have been reported. Filberto is in the lead at 6,055. Phil Moore is at 4,447. 15 of the precincts have reported. So those numbers have in. Only one precinct has not reported yet. So 15 of the 16 has reported, and Filberto has taken a commanding lead. He's at 6,055 and Phil Moore. So basically, I'm going to call this race for Peter Filberto.
That's fact.
That is a fact.
That's
Palm
a
Live
good
is
call.
now calling this for Peter Filberto. So I was right earlier on when I did call it, but it's a fact. Filberto has definitely won this race. So yes, Filberto's supporters can now cheer and all that good stuff. He has definitely won this race, and I'm going to try to see if the man of the hour can pick up his phone, and I'm pretty sure he's getting a lot of calls from around the city right at this point.
Lots of congratulatory phone calls going out right now.
Congratulatory messages coming through for him at this point. So just to put this back into context a little bit, if we look at our percentage points, it looks as if Mr. Filiberto pretty much dominated this entire race. But if you look at the actual numbers, the number of votes between the two candidates, what we're really talking about is 1,600 votes. Yeah,
1608 to be exact. So again, the message to anyone and everyone listening: if you think that your vote does not count, you might want to reconsider that, because we just have a new councilman. We just have a new councilman based off of 1,600 votes. That's all it took, and that's not a lot.
Yeah. And then to top it off, it was a low voter turnout. So,
Yeah, and that's, again, we're looking at like 14% turnout.
Yeah, 14.17, yeah.
Yeah, out of 84,000 registered voters in Palm Bay. So out of those 84,000, what are we looking at? We're looking at total. Yeah, not even 12,000 people voted based off of 15 to 16 precincts.
Correct.
We can't even, we can't even say that the other two candidates pulled votes away from Mr. Moore, simply because the margin of victory is so large. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. So we're waiting on one precinct, folks, but I don't think that one precinct is gonna. I'm trying to figure out which precinct would that be.
Well, we'll see.
Because it's hard to tell because of the fact that they're reporting the mailing ballots, the numbers. Hello? Sorry, still trying to reach me some more. I'm pretty sure he's getting 100 calls right now. So.
See, I'm not sure which precinct is not reporting.
Yeah, I'm not sure which precinct that would be. That's not the only one I can think of is probably 320. 320 has a very low voter turnout. That's only 38 votes.
Wow.
38 votes in that entire precinct.
So far.
38 votes. But that's the only one that would make sense. That probably has not reported all their numbers yet. Precinct, so that it would be precinct number. Which one was that I say, Ron?
320.
320. Yeah, that one only showed 38 votes, folks. Palm Bay, we paid a lot of money for this election.
That's right.
We should have been out there in our numbers, folks. I tried to do my best from my point of view of trying to get the word out. When I go on the road and I talk to folks didn't have a clue about this election. It was very sad that we paid a $250,000 for this, and then we got these kind of numbers. Very, very sad.
Wow. So precinct 320 spent $15,625 to have 38 people show up.
Yeah, Miss Harriet, we're calling it for Filberto. Mr. Filberto, we're saying, Palm Bay Live is saying that he won the race, pretty much. I'm not seeing it going any other way. There's only one precinct yet to be reported. They're saying vote by mail is partially reported, but I'm not seeing this flipping anytime soon. I mean, if I'm wrong, I guess that's the end of me, because that would be hard for them to do this number to change right now. I don't see this number to change because of the turnout that we got in the election. I'm not sure we're going to have a 2,000 vote to come in and to separate this.
So we were talking about how some of the precinct votes were pretty close. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at 315. The difference there is 11 votes.
Yeah. Wow. I guess Mr. Filbert is probably saying, you know what? Let's play safe, Kevin. He's probably not wanting to answer his phone right now because not all the votes are counted. But to tell you the truth, if you remember, when I reported earlier this morning, I think we only had like 7,000 votes mail-in ballots cast or something like that. I'm not sure. Let me go back and look at my Facebook page. But it was very low. And I think the total ballots cast, I'm not sure what it was at the time as of 7 o'clock, but when I look at it earlier, I think at one time it was less than 4,000 votes for today count. So if you do the math, total ballots counted so far is 11,929. I'm not sure. I'm not sure we had another 2,000 votes came in after I left the precinct, and that would be
I don't-
around 5 o'clock.
I don't
6 o'clock.
think honestly, Kevin, I think if we do the math,
Mm-hmm.
let me look real quick. I'm trying to talk to you, look at this, and do math on my phone all at the same time. So if I sound like a bumbling idiot, I promise you I'm not. I don't think there's another 2,000 votes out there.
I don't think so either. I don't see another 2,000 votes out there. I really don't. So I could be wrong, but again,
I mean,
folks,
unless what was it, 315? Not 315, 320. I believe it was where we had 40
320
people show up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
38 people showed up at that precinct. I mean,
Yeah,
all day, 38 precinct, 38 votes. So sorry, folks. My chair keeps flatlining on me here.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, we spent.
It would be a miracle if something happens between now. I mean, with these, it's still showing mail-in ballots partially reported. I'm not sure what that means because you would have think all of those would have been reported by now. So let's keep waiting here. Anything can happen. We may have called this wrong. One person is still out, but I tend to believe that Phil Berta has won this race.
Let me see. Anyways, let me go back and
Yeah.
I want to go back and do some math here.
Let's do our
So-
math here. Let's do our math.
We said, what did we say? So if we take $250,000 divided by 16 precincts,
Oh, you did. Oh, okay, you're doing that one.
yeah, I'm doing that one. So we're at 15. Hang on. You know I'm serious. I got the pen out now, right? So per precinct is 15,625. Okay. And we have 11,000. Oops. 11,911 votes. Votes per dollar. So I want to take that and divide it by 15,625. I did it wrong. 911 votes per dollar. So we spent 76 cents per vote so far. That's including mail-in ballots for where we at? Basically for 14% of the population to show up. You know, again,
what did you say you were at? That was still have folks running in at that point in time.
315.
315. Okay.
You know, so again, let me flash back just for a hot second here. When we went through, when the discussions were going on about should the council effectively follow the charter or should we hold an election, the cost of the election itself was put out there, and actually $250,000, if I remember correctly, is a low. It was an estimate. It's slightly over that. And for special elections, midterms, and recall elections, generally turnout is very low. And so it's not necessarily cost effective for the folks that are so concerned about finances and how taxpayer money is spent. Generally, and tonight is a really good example of that. Generally, it's not cost effective if there's already a measure in place. Again, speaking strictly from a financial viewpoint, I understand that there was quite an uproar, that people were thinking that their rights were being violated, their right to vote was being violated. And so I understand got 45 votes now at precinct 320.
Oh,
Still
yeah?
not
It
enough
went
for
up?
Fillmore.
Oh, so precinct. Oh, yeah, okay. All the precincts have been reported. Election day results have all been counted. Vote by mail is still partially reported. And with that said, at this present time, we have a total tally, new tally to report. Filberto, 51.38% of the vote at 6,346. Fillmore at 4,558. Again, all precincts have been reported. Vote by mail is still being tallied. Filberto is at 51.38% of the vote at 6,346. Fillmore, 4,558. That's where we at this present time. And vote by mail is still being counted, which is odd to me because you would think that would have been the first thing that would be first out of the gate.
Not necessarily, and I will admit I did not keep up with it, but maybe there were some restrictions placed on, number one, how long this was going to go on as far as vote by mail would be accepted.
And with vote by mail, remember at one point with vote by mail, if you had broken it down based on political, and I don't like to do that with Palm Bay because we are a nonpartisan race, but if you had broken it down by the way the elections office did it, they did it by party, and it showed that Democrat had a substantial amount of votes that were turning in more than Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to wonder, is there 2,000 votes there that Fillmore is probably waiting on to be counted that we're not seeing? So you know, one has to wonder.
Well, that again, that's an interesting metric that you brought up. So we don't get those numbers with respect
we don't
to
have those numbers.
Right. So we don't know how many mail-in ballots there are.
We don't know how many mail-in ballots are outstanding at this present time.
Right. So if there's 2,000 mail-in ballots that still have yet to be counted, Fillmore could potentially win this off, but he would have to carry almost all of them.
Yeah.
Because right now the difference is 1,788 between the two candidates. So Fillmore literally he would have to take all of those, all 1,700, may as well call it 1,800. So he would need 1,800 votes just to tie Filiberto.
Correct.
So then anything over and above that, even if you split it 50-50, we're still at the absolute best, we would end up in a tie.
Yeah,
that's
right.
highly.
And not only that, Ron, we got to look at it. We also had MPAs. We had about 1,000+ votes from MPAs that was mailing ballots.
Okay.
So we have that to contend with, and then there was other. I'm not sure what the other column reflects, but there was another column on the Vote Brevard website that's showing probably about less than 50 votes. I'm not sure what that equates to either. But right now, if I remember correctly, Democrats, again, I don't like to do it like this, folks. You know me. I go by the charter. This is a nonpartisan race. But the way they break it down by the site is they had showed Democrats had a commanding lead in voter turnout when it comes to the mail-in ballot. So we shall see what happens here. I'm not sure if we're going to get all the results in tonight for the vote by mail. I'm hoping we do.
Well, for vote by mail, I wouldn't hold your breath on it.
Yeah. So
because there's again, I haven't worked there. I don't work there now. Sometimes that might be a good thing. I'm not sure yet, but generally, with elections and mail, there is a process that has to be followed. That process has to be followed exactly.
Mhm.
And when you follow those processes exactly, it takes time. It really
Yeah.
does. It takes time, especially when you're dealing with something as massive as mailing out however many votes that I should say how many ballots that were mailed out, and then you have to cancel out the ones that were versus the ones that were turned in, and you still have folks that even if they did get a mail-in ballot, like me, and forgot to mail it in, like me, and I still went to go vote today, in person. So I wouldn't hold my breath. If I feel more, I wouldn't hold my breath. I know Phil's a good guy, but the numbers just aren't in his favor tonight.
He doesn't look too good. I pretty much hold on. Do we have a new number? No, we don't. Is it still the same number? I thought we had an update here. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. So yeah, I think this is it, folks. I really think this is it. I'm not showing where there's going to be another way for this, for this election to be called. I strongly believe Peter Filberto has won this race. Filberto, if you're hearing me, congrats to you. And I'm going to try him one more time before I sign off for the night.
All right.
And but if not, we'll catch up with him at one of those council meetings, or the day of his swearing in.
Okay, and I believe, Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, so I believe that Mr. Filiberto will finish out the remainder of Councilman Jeff Bailey's term. And then I believe in November, we get to do all of this again. Is that correct?
We do. Yes, we do.
Yay, I have something to look forward to now.
Yes, we do. We get to do this all over again in November. In fact, I started talking to some of the candidates. Well, not some. Well, yeah, one of the candidates I spoke to for Palm Bay, Nathan White. It's on the Facebook page for Palm Bay Live. You guys can go and check that out. I spoke to him earlier this afternoon. He's running against the deputy mayor. And then I spoke to a school board individual who's running for school board. And yeah, so, I already started those connections, and November is going to be an active month, and I'm putting some feelers out there. If anybody wants to help with interviewing candidates running for office, please contact me. We can get you on the air, and you can be the one helping me with these interviews. I wanted this to be a community program. I don't want to are you tuning in November, Mr. McLean? Are you a resident of PN? What's that mean?
PN. Pensacola? Nope, I'm not in Pensacola.
Mr. McLean lives in Palm Bay. He's a friend of mine. He lives in Palm Bay. He doesn't live in Pensacola.
Nope. Been here since 2007.
Yeah.
Let's see. Got my. All right. So here's my resume, so to speak. Moved here in 2007. Started Brevard Community College about a month after I moved here. I got my associates in a year. 15 months later, I got my bachelor's degree in business administration, a minor in project management. At present, I'm currently a dual master's degree candidate with Florida International University, studying master's in public administration and hopefully law if I can stay awake that long. So I can at least try to sound like I know what I'm talking about.
So when I bring him on Palm Bay Live, he can actually gives us legit information, right, sir?
Man, listen, I'm taking statistics right now. Number one, I'm loving it. Absolutely love statistics.
Yeah.
And in actuality, I'm learning that statistics really is a scientific study almost in human behavior. especially when it comes down to elections, and when you listen and look at the messaging that some of the candidates have versus how that resonates with the voters, that actually motivates them to
Oh, he
either.
was just, he was just looking to find out if you're running for election. No, he's not running for election, Carmine. Trust me, he won't be running for election.
Only thing I'm running for now, I'm running to the fridge once this is all over with.
Yeah, he won't be running for election. No, no, no. And I won't be either, folks. I'll be right here behind this camera. But listen, back to what I was messaging. I was trying to say is, folks,
Yes.
I need folks helping me interviewing these candidates. November is going to be a busy season, busy active season with candidates running for office. So if you are interested in interviewing individuals running for office, send me an email. Let's work on something so I can show you how this is done. And we can make you a guest interviewer. This is a community program. This is just not a me program. When I created this thing, that was my idea, is to make it a community level programming where everybody can have a say so in how this is done, and interviewing our individuals that's running for office. And so that's and that's my other reason for it. Just like Mr. McLean, I'm also in school, and I'm doing my doctorate, and I'm hoping to finish that up in here in about a year or so. And so therefore that's why I need some help, so I can focus on that doctorate, and I can get it done when I get it done. So
once you get it done, I'm gonna have to change my phone to like Dr. Kevin.
So yeah, thank you, sir. So but I need any support I can get from the public. So anybody who's willing to come in and interview individuals, hey, feel free, hit me up. Let's talk. We're gonna look to expand this as we move forward. Right now, folks, I am not seeing any updated results as of 7:52. The results have stayed the same. So I'm not sure if the supervisor of election have just pretty much stopped counting for the night. I am not seeing anything updated. So at this point in time, I'm going to call this race for Mr. Filiberto. He's at 51.38% of votes cast. He got 6,346. Mr. Fillmore, 36.90%. Votes cast, 4,558. Mr. Algari, 905 votes. Mr. Jimmy Backus, 543 votes in his favor. And Mr. Backus is a newcomer to the city of Palm Bay, and he actually got some votes there as a newbie. And so he did register at 543 votes. So that is congrats to you, sir, for actually picking up some votes there. Mr. Agari, I'm not sure where he goes from here. He did run for the mayor, didn't do well there, and now he ran for the council, didn't do well there as well. So again, we are here. This is it. This is the results for the night. I'm not seeing any questions in the comment section. So I think everybody is good with the results the way they are being reported. Again, I'm not sure that the supervisor of the election is still counting votes, because we have been at a standstill for a while now. I'm not seeing any new numbers being added to the tally. No new numbers being added to the tally. I'm refreshing. Do you see anything, Ron, that I didn't see?
No, sir. I am here. I'm refreshing right now. Nope. So
no. And I know while I'm here, I just want to thank everybody that actually watch my interviews with the candidates. A lot of time has been I spend a lot of time, and so for folks who do not are new to my streams and what I do, when I interview these candidates, there's something you need to know. I don't tell a lot of folks, but now you're going to learn the secret sauce. I don't ask a question unless I know the answer. So when I ask a question to a candidate, I already know in the back of my head what the answer should be. And majority of the time, I do not I do not badger them to give me the rightful answer. I let it be, because you know why? I figure you, the voters, are going to be the judge of that character and know exactly what's truly in the heart of that individual. Some questions was asked during the interviews, and it left me to wonder, because some of the questions I asked one particular candidate over time about resident status and when did you move to Palm Bay and all that good stuff. Those kind of questions really haunt that individual, because again, as to what their true intentions was, because we don't know what happened there. So, and I'm not saying any names, but the bottom line is that those questions do come to mind and bear fruit, and this is the end result of the election. This is where we are. So when we ask these questions, we do know the answers to those questions, and we do know where they should lead and how the candidates should answer based on how we ask them. Yeah, here we are. Any questions from the public for me? I don't see any. Please, Kevin, get them debating. No court of Tuesdays. We need these candidates to go head to head against each other. Sorry. Yeah, that's true, Carmine. The last debate here that we had, we did ask some pointed questions, but the thing about it was that the individuals, they didn't take the bait. And it was relayed to me that they didn't want to really go toe to toe, during this these debates. They just wanted to let that calm. So I was like, okay. So, but we did ask some questions that we thought would have garnered some punchlines from the candidates, but it didn't happen that way. It didn't roll out that way, the way I wanted it to.
Sorry, Kevin. No, I gotta agree with Mr. Vitale or Vitale. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that.
Yeah.
Debates are good as long as each one of the candidates can, again, take it seriously and at the same time be respectful. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, and with some of your feeds, I've seen sometimes where people have just kind of ran off the rails and not really been serious and pretend like they're on FaceTime with their friends. Like, no, man, this is not what this is. Mm-hmm. You are running and campaigning to effectively lead with other people's money and in some cases dictate parts of their future. And so it's necessary to take it seriously, and at the same time, it's also necessary for the candidates to be able to articulate their ideas, and then when they're challenged on them, to be able to defend them in an articulate manner, and again, not be disrespectful and not resort to name calling, and I hate to use the phrase because it might be overused somewhat, but to compete in the marketplace of ideas and let the best idea win.
Yeah. I mean, I do ask some tough questions, and like I said, I do not ask. And sometimes the public do send me some interesting thoughts or perspectives on certain individual candidates. But again, folks, if you don't see me ask those questions, it's because I do intensive research on my end. I do not ask the question if I don't know the answer to it, because you're not going to get me in a situation where I ask the question and I go, oh my God, why did I ask that? Why did it, So I have to research that question. I have to see where it's coming from. Do I have an answer to that question? I know that question is legitimate, and then I go there. That's how I operate. That's my secret sauce. That's how I move as an individual throughout these things. So yeah, it is a lot of time consuming. And folks, for those who are wondering, Palm Bay Live is a non-profit entity. I do not get paid for this. I do not. It takes a lot of time, and thanks to my wife. So everybody can thank my wife, because she is the one that allows me to do this. I do not get paid for this. No money comes in for Palm Bay Live. When we just started, we did get a little funds, And with that, I was able to buy a small little Zoom 8 mixing board that I can use for my mic, and that was it. Any other funds that come in was pretty much my endeavor. So, again, and if you guys want to contribute for the upcoming election cycle and whatever else that we have planned, or if you have ideas of how we can spin off Palm Bay Live to something greater, hit me up, call me, send me an email, let's talk. And let's make Palm Bay Live something big for the community. Really, my long-term objective is to do a print magazine. That's always been on the back of my head, but COVID kind of put a stamp on that. I already have in place an editor. She is well known, and she has volunteered her services for it. It's just that I need content to put this thing together, and funds. Lastly, funds. So without that won't happen. But I would like to have a Palm Bay magazine sometime in the future. So we can say this is our thing. This is our community magazine, and it's ours, Palm Bay's community magazine. So that's something that I'm looking forward to at some point in time. But that requires money. So that's where I'm going with Palm Bay Live. For those who don't know, that's my whole premise of this whole thing. So if you go to our Facebook page, you see a cover of a magazine. That was the whole premise of when I started this, on top of the interviews. And, thanks to community support from people like Carmen Vitale, Mr. Tom, and Susan Hodges, and, all these other individuals have come out and backed me. Mr. Ron McLean, Brian Anderson, a lot of folks that are behind the scene that have called me up, that have pushed me and keep inspiring, trying to help promote this show and help it grow. So we're doing well.
Hey, you just give me opportunities to get on the internet and run my mouth, man. So how am I gonna say no to that?
Well, it's a good service, sir. We're trying to do a service to the community. And Jerron, let's go ahead and take one last peek at the results here to make sure nothing has changed. And I'm not seeing anything has changed. It's now 8:00, and it looks like she probably has sent home more workers for the night. And she's probably saying, listen, let's finish recording these other additional votes another time. So yeah, at this point in time, for those who may just be joining us, Peter Filberto appears to have won this race with 51.38% of the votes cast. And the total votes for him was 6,346. Mr. Phil Moore, 36.90% of the votes cast, and the total votes for him is 4,558. In case you're wondering what happened to the two other guys, Alfie Agari, 905 votes, Jimmy Backus, 543 votes. And again, Mr. Backus just moved to the area, and he did pretty well with 543 votes. That's pretty darn good. That's probably more than Apple would probably do if I was ever to run for office. That's pretty good.
If I were to run for office, I'd maybe get 4 if I could figure out a way to get my dogs into the booth and vote for me.
Yeah, I'd probably get 1. But seriously, folks, it takes a lot to run for office, and these votes are these seats. These folks don't make a lot of money off of this. They don't. They get less than what, $12,000 a year, from what I understand. They don't make much money. So,
and during the campaign cycle, you legitimately have to put your life on hold while you campaign, and you have to do some fundraising so you can get signs. You have to be able to craft speeches, craft your message, have meetings, meet with your. You have to be able to put a team together first.
It's a whole lot of work.
So there's a whole lot that goes into it. So,
and then not only that, but you also, Ron, have to put on with, sometimes they have online badgering where people are constantly badgering them with questions and fair enough, the public wants to know answers to your thought process. They want to get into your mind. They want to know how you think, because you're handling their tax money.
True indeed. And that's where I think that part of the lost art of communicating has been lost. So if people really want to know your thought process and know your ideas, you have to be able to communicate with folks, and most importantly, especially if you run for office, you have to be able to connect with people and talk to them instead of just talking at them and regurgitating your talking points over and over and over again.
Yeah. So you have to be able to know how to communicate effectively, and to get that message out. Yeah. So, Mr. Filiberto, congrats to you, sir. And I wish you the best of luck for the next how many months you got? Like 8 months in that seat?
Hey, if he's successful, we're successful.
Yeah. So I want to thank you for answering the call and running for office and to serve your city. If in case you listen to this later, I know you're probably busy because I've been trying to reach you, but you're not answering. So, but I want to congratulate you on winning your seat, sir, and I wish you best of luck in this seat. And let's see what happens in November, because he has to do it all over again.
Yep.
Let's do it all over again. And let's see who's going to be running against him or trying to challenge him come November. So November should be very, very interesting. Again, I already spoke to Nathan White. He's running for the deputy mayor's seat. And just running. I think that's it. It's going to be.
What, for here in Palm Bay?
Yeah, for Palm Bay. I think that's just going to be it. So it's going to be seat 4 and seat 5. I believe.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
If as well as I know you, I know that you will be talking to candidates for judge, for county commission, potentially maybe even state representative. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have them all on here, man. I'll tell you right now. You need me? Give me a call. You know how to get in touch with me. And if there's anything that I can contribute to the conversation, I'll be happy to do so.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need help. I'm already putting it out there. I'm definitely gonna need help. I'm already have spoken to the Republican chair this afternoon. I told him that I want him on the program. I spoke to the Democratic chair. I told her that I want her in the program. So I'm gonna make sure that Palm Bay has a right to learn more about the individuals that's representing them, and that's why Palm Bay Live was created. You guys have a right to know who it is that's going to be handling your tax dollars. You need to know these individuals. You want to make sure these individuals are right for you, and that kind of thing. And again, if you send me certain questions and you don't see me ask them, remember my golden rule. If I don't know the answer to that question, I'm not posing it. I gotta know that question is legitimate.
Hey, you wouldn't even talk to me if you hadn't Google me first.
Exactly. So I gotta know who it is that I'm talking to, and who I'm bringing on my platforms, because I gotta know exactly what is what. Because I am doing a service for you guys, and I want to make sure I represent you guys fairly. And that's how I operate as an individual, as a person. But guys, I'm going to sign off for the night. But my last appeal to you is that, again, the summer months are going to be busy. There's going to be August set of elections. There's going to be board elections for the school boards. There's going to be elections there. And then there is going to be elections in the fall. We're going to have to see if there's going to be any primaries for Palm Bay. I haven't seen that yet lined up, if there's going to be anything like that. As of yet, where that is concerned, it looks like there's only one person that's running against the deputy mayor. Now that we have a winner for C5, now we're going to have to ascertain, is there anybody that's going to challenge Filiberto if he is indeed declared an ultimate winner? Well, Palm Bay Live is calling it for him, but we'll see after these mailing ballots are all counted. And we'll see if he has a challenger. If he has a challenger, or a couple or more challenges for the November primary. November election. So we'll see how that pans out. But until then, folks, keep your eyes on the prize. Keep locked on to Palm Bay Live. Hi, my niece. How you doing?
Mr. Kevin said hi.
Hi.
And say
Come
Say
mother. I need
Palm Bay
a
Live,
pee-pee.
youtube.com Palm Bay Live, and youtube.com Palm Bay Live. And yeah, keep it locked. All precincts are 100% reported, Denise? Yes, I believe so. All precincts are 100% reported. What
Yep.
we were waiting on, Denise, is the mailing votes. Some of it says partially reported, and we were wondering if there's any other additional counting was going to be done for the night, and it doesn't appear that way.
Yeah, you should probably look for those around Thursday, maybe.
Yeah, it does not appear as if we're going to get all the vote by mail ballots in for tonight. So we're going to have to check that back by, like Mr. McLean said, probably by Thursday. We will get those additional votes in.
Yeah,
More than likely, she has sent on her workers for the night. I guarantee that's probably what has happened.
yeah, and
Right off
again, even though we are waiting for the mail-in ballots, even if there are 2,000 votes out there, Phil Moore will take every single one of them in order to win. And
Yeah.
the margin between the two candidates it's just under 1,800. So the probability of that happening is incredibly low.
Right. Right. We'll see. We'll see. If I would be the first one to admit I was wrong. I'll come back on the air and say, hey, I was wrong if he does it. But right now, it doesn't look too promising in his favor.
Right.
It really doesn't look too promising in his favor as where that is concerned. So we will say that's it.
Yes, sir.
We will say that's it. But it was a good night. Thank you, Mr. McLean, for joining me.
Always, man.
Yeah, I was. Mr. Brian Anderson was also supposed to show up too, but he had a unexpected situation that came up that he has to attend to, so he wasn't able to be here with me. And usually we would have also Mr. Jeff Bailey on the program, but again, Mr. Jeff Bailey has moved out of the state, so he's no longer with us. So yeah, this is it, folks. Again, if you want to be a part of Palm Bay Live, just send me an email, send me a phone message, etc., and let's get it going.
Okay.
Anyways, folks, I'm going to sign off for the night. Thank you so much for joining Palm Bay Live until the summer and the fall. See you then.
All right. Have a good night, Kevin.
Good night, Ron.